Well, we're taking it easy and we're feeling fine. Doing a little stitching here on Island Time. If you get in a hurry, well, it's not a crime. But won't you come and join us on Island Time?
Hi, FlossTube. Welcome to Stitching on Island Time. I'm Lori Millsap, and this is my daughter, Mallory Bosse. We are here for our July recap. It's been a lovely month at home for me since my birthday. I've been right here in my house. I haven't gone anywhere. I've not really had to leave the house any more than for grocery shopping and normal errand running and go to church. It's been great. So I have stitched every single day, and I have a lot of stuff to show as a result.
Yes, she does. She has a lot of stuff to show. And by comparison, it's going to look like I did nothing, but I in fact spent a lot of time this month knitting, as you will see later.
And I think that's fantastic. I told her I was watching Hobbies of Holly, hey Holly, who asked if I was going to see her at Dine to Stitch, and I'm not going to Dine to Stitch in October because Mallory and I are going to Charlotte instead. But Holly's been doing a lot of knitting, and she does a lot of sock knitting, and she does a lot of other kinds of knitting, and I enjoy, you know, like I watched Carmen, Cardamom Pins, and all of her knitting videos, and I don't knit at all, but I find it wonderful to watch. So I hope those of you who don't knit or crochet enjoy the yarn portion of our activities just as much as you do the cross stitch part.
There will be some yarn, y'all.
I mean, and you know, to be truthful, you also have to talk about quilting a little bit. Yeah. So, you know, that happens here sometimes too. So, you know, we do all the things. But
if you're just here for the cross stitch, I'll put a little timestamp at the bottom and you can skip to that time. But otherwise, stick with us because we've got lots to show.
We do. And we have some giveaways at the end, so hang out. Let's talk about what else happened in July. I watched a lot of mid-year whip parades, and it kind of gave me anxiety.
That's not the goal. That was not the point of the videos.
That's not the goal. But at the same time, I mean, I was gone for a month. I'm traveling again in August. So I sort of saw this window of opportunity where I could go through all my whips again and get a handle on things.
Right.
Do I have a handle? No. But I have a little more information, and information is always a good thing.
And organization.
And organization.
Is also a good thing.
When I went through all my whips, I had fewer that I consider whips than I thought I did. Because I have a lot of pieces that I'm just not interested in right now. I don't want to de-stash them, and I don't know when I'll be re-interested in them. But they don't count as whips because I'm not working on them. WIP stands for works in progress, and I'm not working on them. So they're just UFO'd, which is a great quilting term for unfinished object, that we just put things away and we forget we were working on that quilt, and then we have to pull it out and remember what we were doing sometime in the future. Same with these, but unfinished cross stitch pieces are so much easier to return to than unfinished quilts.
Absolutely. Especially if you're smart like you and make sure to work finished X's into whatever area you were working in. When I went back to my Stitching with the Housewives summer, found that past Mallory had left many legs one hash, like it only had one side of the cross stitch, and I was like, oh, and this is variegated floss. Mallory, what were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
So past Mallory kind of set me up for failure there, but
you know, as long as you do that. So anyway, I actually had fewer whips. I did a count, and it's funny because I told you guys last time I wanted to kind of have a sense of how many were barely started, like less than 10% complete, versus how many were kind of in that 10 to 25% zone, 25 to 50. Those are, you know, I consider those a really pretty well started piece.
A good start, yeah.
Yeah, and then 50 to 75, these are moving along projects. And then if they're 75% done or further,
the finish line is in sight.
Absolutely. So I kind of wanted to get a sense of that. Well, so here's what was funny, is in the 0 to 10, I had 13 projects. So
is a good number.
13 pretty new starts that I just, they were shiny. I started them, but I haven't gotten back to them. 10 to 25, I had 14. So pay attention, 13, 14. 25 to 50, I had 12.
25 to 50% finished.
Yes.
You had 12 projects. Gotcha.
Exactly.
That's
and
good.
then 50 to 75% finished, I had 13.
So you got it pretty evenly staggered.
Exactly. I was so impressed with myself. This is not a normal distribution. This is pretty level there. So I was
Watch out, statistician in the room.
sorry about that. but 75 to 100%, I only had 5. 5 projects that were close to being finished, and I went, oh, maybe I could finish one of these. I did. I was so proud of myself. So that's a fun thing to see, like to get a sense of where your projects are. And now I have a plan going forward, like how to move things up into that next category, not feel like I have to work on these,
Right.
but
It's
just
a hobby, not a job.
see progress.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then the other thing that we did, I felt like I had charts everywhere.
Uh-huh.
I had so many cross stitch charts, and I had a bin under my long arm, and I had 2 bins in a cubby system, and I had some on top. They were everywhere.
Our library was scattered.
Yes, and I really thought more than for me, who kind of bought all the things, and so I'm pretty sure I know where they are. Or I was gifted them and I went through them all, so I know where they are. Mallory wouldn't know where things were, and she is just like me, wanting to stitch things seasonally, and and we want to be able to shop. We don't have a local needlework store, except that we live in one. With all the stuff.
Yes.
So now we know how to go shop our stash because we took everything and sorted it by season.
Yes, and that was exciting because you don't realize how many things are winter but Christmas and how many things are Halloween but actually autumn.
Right, right. So we decided, we separated it spring, summer, autumn, winter, but then Halloween got its own season.
It overflowed, it's autumn.
Right,
binder.
and Christmas is bigger than winter.
It got 2 volumes.
It took 2 volumes for winter. And then we had all those things that aren't seasonal, that are just, like stitchy things or just, generic, pretty cross-stitch stuff. Anyway, one of those is a chart that I bought specifically a long time ago now because I thought it was so appropriate for me. And it's the chart that is by the Primitive Hair called Not Hoarding. I'm going to pull it out of the front of the binder right here where we have it. It's this one that says it's not hoarding if it's cross stitch. So that was a sweet reminder to us as we, I'll just set it here. So we then put together a binder
of just cross stitch related
and generic things, but this
first
is
off, 2 people. There you go.
This is the It's Not Hoarding binder. So the Primitive Hair chart actually, named this category, but we put fat things in here. So like all my magazines are sorted
The thickens.
by season. Yeah, so the wonderful ones that are the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, which if you don't already get that one, like it is the bomb diggity. So that's the one you need to get. But anyway, so we have those in the 4 seasons. They fit in these, we just have typical page protectors. I ordered these big giant binders on Amazon, and we just have everything that will fit in there. Now we'll need another hoarding binder. I mean, it's not hoarding.
Not hoarding.
No,
It's not hoarding.
It's not hoarding.
But we might need a bigger binder.
We might. Oh, speaking of which, did everybody see Helen D's finish?
Oh, the shark.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yes, that was so fantastic. It made me so happy.
I know. Jaws is the movie that traumatized me as a child. I mean, I'm that generation. I didn't swim in the deep end of the swimming pool after that.
This is the time of year where we think about Jaws because we're going to the beach.
Yeah, Shark Week's coming up in August. So
That's right.
yeah,
August
absolutely.
is Shark Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, that was cool. All right, so got my binders organized. That's wonderful. Got all my whips reviewed. That was great.
And we did the binders during Midsummer Stitch.
We did, because we had this great idea that we were going to passively watch all of the things at Midsummer Stitch. So we both signed up for Midsummer Stitch. Both of us paid our part. Our internet failed all weekend.
Miserably.
All weekend. We couldn't
watch a video. We couldn't even watch the afterwards, like when they record them for you and then you can watch the video later.
Right.
We certainly couldn't watch it live, but we couldn't even watch the afterwards.
Now, we haven't tried again on days when the internet's been good. So, you know, I can watch YouTube sometimes.
Although my watch says it's going to be rainy today.
Oh, so
which
that's
usually does not contribute.
It does not bode well. So anyway, we were able to see Steph's welcome, and we caught like stills of the first FlossTube live with the Sunshine State Stitchers. We couldn't get it to actually go, so we stopped it and instead watched their most recent FlossTube video.
And that was fun.
And that was fun.
Because I hadn't got to watch them yet.
Yes.
And they're fabulous.
Yes. So we enjoyed that very much. But anyway, it was just, we didn't get to participate only because of our own internet, not because of anything. I did manage to sneak in. I got the freebie. And I slipped into the shopping hall just to see what was there.
But at the time, our entire living room was covered in patterns. And so she's like, I'm just going to look and see what there is. And the whole time I'm going, we don't need another thing. We don't need, we'll never need another thing.
Right. So, needless to say, we did not get to. So I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do Harvest Moon Hangout, because I'm super excited about it. My good friend Kari, Tiger Lily Designs, is teaching a bag class.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yes, it is called the Spooky Starburst Project Bag, and it's so cute, and I just love it. And so those tickets go on sale. Today is July 31st.
Happy birthday, Harry Potter.
Yeah, if we forgot to say that. So those tickets go on sale tomorrow, which for you is probably today, because by the time Mallory edits this,
and posts it,
it'll be tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
So 1 p.m. on August 1st is when tickets go on sale. And they have limited numbers of kits for either Kari's class or Lois's class. Lady Dot Creates is doing this adorable pincushion that's super cute. So if you want the kits for either one of those, you have to lickety split. The PDF versions of those classes won't sell out. Like, they can have as many PDF people as they want. So, and you've got, I mean, the whole event is September 19th through the 21st. So you've got 6 weeks, 7 weeks to get your materials together. And so, I think if you don't get a kit, you shouldn't freak out. The fabric line that Kari chose for her bag is readily available, even at our local quilt shop. They've got that line right now. So, but any Halloween fabric that you love, anything in your stash would work any other season.
Right.
So I was lucky enough last month to receive Kari's the Queen Takes Center Stage kit, and I showed it to you. I helped her name that pattern. It was weird that I did that, but I'm in her Patreon because, it's Kari and I love her. So in her Patreon, she asked for, she was just calling it Queen Bag, and that, well, so she called it the Queen Bag because it's got this great Tula pink queen in the middle. And it's fantastic. So this was a kit from Kari. She mailed me everything. I bought nothing. She is the best. And I know, right? And her patterns are so professional. Look at this. So many pictures on the inside. I mean, every detail of how I put mine together before her video released. In fact, I haven't taken time to watch the video yet. But this bag comes in 3 sizes. I've got it here in the front. But I haven't made anything other than this is the medium size bag because I got the kit. And I mean, look at it. It's so fantastic. And I quilted it. I did everything on my little domestic sewing machine. I didn't pull out my long arm or anything.
The rainbow houndstooth is my absolute favorite.
Oh,
I would take a bag out of that.
Yeah, isn't it fantastic?
So good.
So, but I mean, we got a code so that we could watch her video instruction. It's lined, it's got binding on the side pieces. I mean, it's just a wonderful construction. So I did that one afternoon, again, following her written instructions. That pattern is not available anymore right now because you had to buy it before her make with Tiger Lily class. She is going to release it next year. So if you missed out on this pattern, look for it when it comes out late next year. But I have to show you. I went to my stash and found this fabric. And so I had a panel. This is an Art to Heart Christmas panel. And I had a panel and I had some stashed fabric that coordinate with it. And so I made myself a Christmas version. And it's so cute. Oh, I knocked my queen bag over. But it's a little bit bigger, but it was easy peasy for me to adjust the sizing on this style to fit exactly what I had to go in the middle. But so that was why I suggested center stage to her when she was calling it the queen bag, because I feel like if you have any fabric you want to feature in the middle, it would be super easy to do that. And then the way she constructs this with the gusseted bottom, it just is fantastic. And so it'll stand up
nicely.
So my plan with this is to load my Prairie Schooler Santas in this, or maybe the new wee Santa from Cecilia, which is so cute. It's Santa with geese and it's adorable.
We do love some geese.
Yes, so cute. So anyway, so I made both of those and those were super fun. Those were, a couple of my finishes for this month.
There you go.
Which is great.
There you go.
And then I kind of got on a bag making kit.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have lost my mind a little bit.
No.
Well, here's the thing. I have an ultimate travel bag ordered that a Poon is going to make for me, and I am super excited about that. That's too much for me. It's not that I couldn't. I'm sure I could follow the instructions and make that bag myself. But it requires collecting all the hardware and the weird lengths of zippers and all the, all the parts. And she is a professional at making those bags. So I just sent her fabric and got on her list. And I was on her list for July, but then she went on a long vacation. So I have a feeling she's going to make it for me in August, which is perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
I would love to have it before I go on my retreat in October, but even then I have bags, I have things, so I would be fine. But because I sent her some Bonnie and Camille fabric to make my ultimate travel bag, I dug around in my Bonnie and Camille stash and made myself some Bonnie and Camille bags. So I have all these wonderful fabrics.
So
it's one of my biggest stashed. The orange one's probably my favorite because I put my very favorite gray gingham from April Showers inside there. Just love it. Anyway, so I made myself some Bonnie and Camille bags. There's nothing in them yet. These are available for new starts and projects. But then I also had bought the French General Sacre Bleu line. And so I made myself a patchwork and then a plain that are like a match set. And I had already made one bag out of this line, but I ordered the pink that goes with it. So I made myself a pink set of this. This is, I don't remember what it's called. I'll have to tell Mallory and she'll do some magic.
I'll put it right here.
Because I don't remember what the line of fabric is called. But anyway, I love it because this green and this gold and the pink together just give me life. I love them so much. Here's one more Bonnie and Camille. I missed this one somehow. I don't know how because this is probably one of my very favorite prints.
It's so fun.
Yeah, and
and the inside.
And look at the inside. Isn't that great? Yeah. So, and then finally this one, and I made Mallory one of these too, because I've had this fabric for a while, and it just was languishing in my stash. I am a mid-century modern kind of girl. Like, I just love these colors, everything about it. So, again, I don't know what I'll put in them, but if you lost count, that's somewhere around 10 new project bags for me. For me, they're not even giveaway ones. So, haha. So that was fun.
That was super fun. While we're talking about the things that you've been sewing, how about we talk about our quilt of the day?
I can do that. All right. So this is an older project, but I love it so, so much. So this is Bonnie and Camille. This is called Early Bird. And I'm trying to think if it was through Instagram, I think. I bought somebody's D-stash of some vintage Bonnie and Camille prints because I started collecting Bonnie and Camille maybe 3 or 4 years too late, maybe even 5. So I didn't have enough yellow Bonnie and Camille stuff. And so when I saw that, you know, I could get some vintage ones, the yellows and the oranges especially, and then this print was older and this print was older. Anyway, I was super happy, and I got a fat quarter bundle from them, and I threw in a few of my favorites. And then this block is called Early Bird, and I think Camille designed this pattern. And it's fun, right? Because it's just 9 patches, and then it's got like flower petals here. And I did a plain gray, and I pieced this one to take with us when we were traveling. That was my idea. And I was just making it for fun. I mean, I didn't need another quilt. I never need another quilt. I just need to sew, and sometimes what I'm sewing are quilts. So a lot of the time I'm sewing are quilts. So this one, for an experiment then, I put a sheet on the back, and I had never done that before. So this was the first time that I bought a sheet and put it on the back. And there's a lot of mythology out there about whether or not you can quilt with a sheet on the back. But I have to tell you, you absolutely can. You don't even have to buy into it has to be 100% cotton. Now, some of the ones I've put 100% cotton sheets on the back, I love very much too. But I think this is a 60-40 from Walmart. Little print that I liked for the back. And it has held up beautifully. It's washed and dried beautifully. And what it means is then you have matching pillowcases. So I can fold it up and put it in the pillowcase that matches the fabric on the back.
That is
so
That's
yeah.
nice.
So this is Early Bird.
Did you want me to show the back side so people can see?
Yeah, if you can flip it without it falling on our head. There you go. There's a sheet right there. A Walmart sheet. Isn't that great?
That is amazing.
And it kind of has a feel like, I wish I'd bought several of these sheets when I bought this one, because it sort of feels like the new lines that Camille is designing now, like Nantucket Summer and some of those that she does all in blues and greens. So hopefully it won't fall on our head because we have it sort of precarious.
It's a heavy quilt.
All right.
It's just heavy. That's
It
all.
is. It's pretty heavy. I only have one more thing. My frame finish.
Well, and that's
To show that I've been finishing.
to finish. Okay.
Yeah, you were panicking there for a second.
Yeah, but
because
maybe
you
I
have
should-
lots of finishes.
But maybe I
so
should take a turn because I've got 3.
show your finishes,
finishes.
and then we'll show my framed finish.
Okie dokie. So the first thing that I finished is my Welcome to Hatchetfield
Oh, it turned
original
out so
design.
cute.
I'm really pleased with it. We found this red ribbon while we were doing our reorganizing of all of the finishing pieces. And then I went delving into Chuck's room to look for fabric for the back.
Okay, so Chuck's room is the room where I chuck things. It's my main,
fictional brother Charles's
it's,
room.
It's
Yes.
my main fabric storage area in this house. I only have that one bedroom. It's the smallest bedroom. It's Harry's room. So, yeah.
But one thing that I absolutely adore about this finish is the fabric for the back was the exact same fabric that Mom used to make me a skirt when I was a historically accurate Celtic princess back when I was in my homeschool days and we were doing balls as homeschoolers.
Yeah, I think we were doing a Renaissance ball. I'm pretty sure she was 15.
Yeah.
So.
And so it was really nostalgic for me to pull out this fabric and go, oh my gosh, I know this fabric. And then to put it on the back of Hatchetfield feels like just full circle.
Yeah, isn't that fun? And oh, that's so cute. That turned out so wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah.
And my eldest pointed out that she loves that the word Hatchetfield has a little bit of color variation to it. And she said, so it can look like it's shiny red letters or it can look like it's dripping blood.
Yes.
And I was like, that's the goal.
That is the goal. Y'all, it is so adorable. And Mallory said anybody who likes
musicals,
Star Kids,
comedy, and horror. Like, it's a weird amalgamation of themes, but it's fantastic. And watching Nightmare Time episodes while I was stitching this piece made me stitch faster. Because when you're being chased by monsters, you stitch really fast.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, I guess you saw the Buffy reboot. Oh, I'm so excited.
I have not gotten to see it yet, of course.
Well,
but...
I mean, just the, like Sarah Michelle Gellar's sharing, like she's got her name tag and a script laying in front of her where they're doing read-throughs and
she's
things.
Keeping us fed.
Oh yes, it's fantastic. Okay, you want to show another one?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the other one that I finished, again, yesterday, I guess I had some kind of weird manic episode and I was like, I have to finish things if we're filming. But I had taken out some DMC to make a cord for my Crow librarian. And you guys remember, this is a stand-up. It's on a little place card holder, and it's just got fabric on the back side. But I really love the way the cord came out. I did it completely wrong, and afterwards went, that's fine. Because I did not separate out the colors. I twisted them at the same time.
I see.
And
yes. I'm looking at that going, how did you do that? Did you braid that cord? But no.
I actually really like the effect because then it comes out with like weird stripes of color.
Yeah, it's kind of variegated.
Yeah,
almost.
I really liked how it turned out. And so my ends of my cord are just tucked up inside here. And I did have to adjust the place card holder so that it was expanded slightly, but it's just metal wire. So I just stretched it out, stuck it up in there. And so now it's got a nice little body to it. Like it's a little thick here. But oh my gosh, I love this guy so much. But now that he's 100% finished, I'm sending it to the friend I made it for. So I'm gonna have to stitch it again. So I still have my entire kit. This is a pattern from Fine Frog Stitching. And it's one that I made my own little binder clip with. My flosses are all on it, so I'm still ready to go. So I just need to pull another fabric and start this guy again and make one for me.
Oh, I think that'll be wonderful. And you enjoyed stitching it so much that you won't mind.
Oh yes, it's just such a fun little design. The painterly quality of the color changes, and I adore it. I adore him. He's a fine little gentleman.
Crow Librarian, yes, he's wonderful.
Yes,
and that's
and
on Dirty Pirate 18 Count Ada.
It is. Thank you for helping me
from
remember
Barefoot Needle Art. So
I don't think it wants to stand on a quilt.
No.
It stands pretty well on a flat surface.
Yeah, we laid square up in our lap here to be able to put stuff down, and this table's not necessarily the cleanest, so we were trying to keep our stitching clean.
There you go.
Okay, so my final finish was one of those things, and to be fair, it actually was at 72% finished when I opened up my Markup RXP and looked at it, and it is Only Once a Home by Samplers and Stitches. Carol Hodge, who is very active on Instagram as Carol X Stitch and does a lot of stitching herself. I saw this sampler last May on Brenda and Laura's video, and Laura was super excited about it. She may have just posted about it on Instagram, and then, yeah, I think that's what happened. So Laura posted this one and another one that I'm going to show you on Instagram in the same week. And so I was like, dang it, woman, I'm buying another one. And, you know, they're PDFs, so they're sort of invisible. And honestly, I was looking at all my whips, and my PDFs get the best progress. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way for my paper charts to become more digital in their process. But anyway, I kitted this when I downloaded it from my Color and Cotton stash. So I pulled colors that I thought matched the DMC. And usually when I do that, I pull the DMC and then I go over to my Color and Cotton. But so I posted the colors that I used to my Instagram if you're interested, or just email me at stitchingonislandtime@gmail.com, and I will tell you what colors I used. But I'm keeping them in the project bag because I don't know if you noticed when I showed you the cover page, but it not only comes, this chart not only comes with a sampler, but it also comes with a mattress finish and a little like scissor fob size. So beautiful options for smalls. If you have a gift exchange, you want to do a small for. And when I built my markup file, I actually built it as 2 separate markup files so that one was just the sampler, so it would all merge together nicely, and so it worked beautifully in markup. And then the second one was the smalls. And so that one I won't try to merge anything. They're just individual pages in markup, and so I can, you know, stitch just that whenever I want to. Right. But I can still mark them and keep up with where I am. That's so anyway, and this is a bag that I made myself, and I love it so much because I'm a big beachy, well, you know, island time, right? Time. But anyway, I love this bag. And it was back when I was making the ones that had vinyl on the front, which, you know, occasionally vinyl is convenient. So
I love having vinyl front bags because then I don't have to make a label to say what's in it.
Right.
So you can just see what's in it.
That's right. Well, so without further ado, here is Only Once a Home. It's on 36 count boardwalk, which was another thing that lended to its easy finish for me. Last summer, markup tells me that I spent 10 days working on it and got it to 72% finished. And so this summer I picked it up, and in 5 additional days I finished it. So I was really pleased. It's only got a little less than 9,000 total stitches. So it's not a large sampler. It finished almost exactly 10 inches square. And I just think it's beautiful. I ended up not dedicating it to anyone. It's kind of weird, you know, because usually I put at least my initials or somebody's initials. But this has a place in the sky up here above the house that you can add some initials. And I just didn't feel like it needed it. I liked having that open rest area. But I love the colors. It's a little more coral pink than pink, and a little more brick coral instead of true red, you know, more brown coral. Anyway, I thought it was really pretty. We dashed out this week one evening and ran into Hobby Lobby, and I grabbed, we literally got there at 7:51. We had 9 minutes to get everything we needed, and they were not happy to see us come in. I dashed straight back to the 12 by 12 frames and went, that'll work, right? And bought it, and it was 50% off. So for $10, I managed to, you know, finish and frame this. And I say I managed, but I had it laying there and was looking at it and going, I guess I have to spend half a day. And Mallory said, you want me to do that for you? And then she did. So my framer, who lives with me, took care of that. I am happy this time, though. I even remembered to put my library card on the back. So I put all the details of what I used and what dates I worked on it, and hand wrote a little story on the back that says all that.
And a little piece of washi tape keeps that card from flying out in a move or whatever. Whenever that frame needs to move, you don't want that card to get lost. She just puts a little bit of washi tape to hold it down, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that it's got like fabric bordering it the whole way around. It's just so nice. It really, on 36 count, it looks just right, I think, in a 12 by 12 frame. So it's a PDF. You can get it from your stash. You know, you probably have a fat quarter of a linen that you would like to do it on, and you can buy an inexpensive frame. So it's a fun one if you're looking for a more generic sampler just to maybe give as a gift. It would be an affordable gift. And like I said, it took me a total of 15 days of work. So if you are able to work more monogamously, then you could finish it, you know, if you had an anniversary coming up next month or something. And I love all the classic little motifs that they have included.
I did
here.
too.
The little deer guys, the little birds, like those are elements of samplers that are just classical, you know, like,
right.
And I love them.
I thoroughly enjoyed, you know, I was a little frustrated with myself because there's one green for the bones of the border, and there's a different green for the little leaves everywhere. And then the bones of the border have these little pluses, you know, little crosses on the tops and bottoms, and each little one of those has a dot of color in them. You know, so there's that, you know, tedious, you know, one dot at a time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. But I had put the whole border in. I had not stitched all the berries when I picked it up this time. I had stitched quite a few of them, but I had more to go. And, but I had done almost none of those leaves. And I went, really, Lori, why have you left all these leaves for last? This is going to take me forever. And then it really didn't. I am a better stitcher this summer than I was last summer.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
Be able to actually sense your progress,
Yeah.
feel it. Yeah.
I'm able to start and stop more easily, and all of the things. And 36 count, it's so easy to stitch on. In fact, 36 count is factoring fully into my future for the travel that we're going to do next month, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, this is Once Upon a Home by Samplers and Stitches on Etsy. Carol Hodge, who is Carol X Stitch on Instagram, and I love it so much. I have to say, I don't know if you post your finishes, if you tag the makers when, you know, the designers when you post them, but I have not yet done that and gotten anything but sweet comments back from those makers. When I finished my Ocracoke Seaside Tiny Town, Cecilia Turner wrote me the sweetest post back. Carol was so encouraging when she saw how close I was to get to the finish line. And Robin Chappelle with Sampler Bird, the whole time I was working on, I mean, she was nothing but encouraging. So I think it's great for the designers to know that their work is flourishing in the world. And so tag them and start conversations. That's actually one of the best parts of those virtual retreats, is that you get to interact with designers and get to know them as people. So anyway.
Which is really cool because they're all people.
Yes, and they design stitching because they love stitching, just like you.
It's so true. It's so true.
All right.
I do have one more finish.
Great. Please show it.
Okay. So this is actually what I was working on during the Midsummer Stitch. The pattern is called Anchored Life, and it's by Robin Pickens. It's just caught my eye when I was in Williamsburg at Liberty Hill Needleworks, and I was like, I don't know what it is, but I need that.
I didn't realize it was a Robin Pickens design for some reason. Oh, she's a quilter.
Yes.
She's a quilt designer and fabric designer.
Which is
and
probably why
got
these corner motifs are so fantastic.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
But I had started working on this because I was actually in a needle workshop. I was like, I'm going to pull some fancy flosses. It's all set for Cosmo or DMC. Guess what they didn't have?
Either, well, they had
DMC. They did not have Cosmo in Liberty Hill. And so I was like, but they've got all these other kinds. So I grabbed some Simply Shaker Gentle Art, some Gentle Art ones. And so I just did my own color conversion, which was not complicated, just matched the DMCs really. But I really loved these colors, and especially the variegation in that light green. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I stitched it on Seraphim Winter White, 28 count even weave.
Okay.
I left that in here so that I would remember all of that because I'm terrible about remembering that. Anyway, I finished it in the round.
Oh, that's super
here's
cute.
my sweet little finish. I'm very happy with it. Again, finished yesterday. I finished 3 projects. No, 4, because I also
framed my
your project.
piece. That's right.
I finished 4 things yesterday, and by the end of the day, I was like, I'm so tired, and I don't even know why. It's because I poured everything into these projects. But
yeah,
this one was at like 75% yesterday, and so I had to finish the last
stitching it
25%. I had to finish this motif, the west, filling in the blue. It was a whole thing. Anyway, my eldest walked in on me working on it, and then she walked in on me finishing it and went, "Did you just stitch that today?" And I was like, "Well, I had to finish it today." And she was like, "That is crazy. You're crazy."
So I don't know if anybody who doesn't do FlossTube and just watches them realizes this, but part of doing FlossTube is how much it pushes you
Yes.
to actually do the things so that we can show the things, you know.
And it's so nice because when there is no, you know, time crunch, I'm making this for me.
Right.
And I can wait. You know, like I push personal projects aside all the time to work on things for other people because other people are important and I'm just, you know, I'm just me.
Right.
And so I don't really put myself first ever. But when I have a reason to, I actually get things done. It's great.
Yeah.
So I literally just took the duct tape label off of the bag that held this project and put it onto this one. I'm not planning on leaving it there. It looks terrible, but I just wanted to have it labeled for today's video so that I know what it is. But I have a question.
Yes.
So I've got my own color conversion here for this project, and now I have all 6 of these colors. What do you do with your fancy flosses after you've finished a project with them?
Well, I mean, I refile them because I have such a huge collection of fancy floss. I say that, but yesterday I was looking for a particular color. I'm going to go ahead and tell the story because I was trying to kit up July and August versions for my Anniversaries, the Heart project. And I could not find in my bag the color Camouflage. Turns out it was there the whole time. Camouflaged. But so I found it. But in the meantime, while I was looking for it, I pulled out my entire collection of Classic Colorworks floss. And I started going through all the rings of it and realized that I had a ring in there that was just a hodgepodge like that. And I was like, what is, it's my Seaside Tiny Town ring that I just stuck in there because they were all Classic Colorworks colors and I didn't bother to unkit them. So the same thing with that. I have a drawer that I keep Gentle Arts in. I would probably, if they were mine, I'd just put them in the Gentle Arts drawer.
I mean,
you know. So
I
that's
have no problem putting them in the Gentle Arts drawer.
Right.
And then the next time you need baby spinach,
right,
you can go grab it.
Exactly. And so a lot of projects only require, you know, a strand,
right?
You know, like six pieces, not, you know, a whole skein.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just keep them and keep using them. Sean, the periwinkle stitcher, she puts the finished skein pieces taped into her book of days. So like when she empties a skein of a color, like red
this
rocks,
part, like just the label.
she puts the label in there to see all the different colors she's used up. So she's using her red rocks until it's gone, and then she's pulling a new red rocks and then moving it to, you know, like using it till it's gone. So that's kind of fun.
Keeping a floss library going might be something.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
And
But
especially if you decide you want to do some coordinating things like a, you know,
Sure.
pin pillow or something.
Yeah,
Like
because
you could easily do a pin cushion that's just that
the
anchor.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can probably tell this about me, but I'm a little ADHD. And so when I was working on this project and I was at that sea of baby blue, I kind of got bogged down, and so it made me put it away. And so I tricked my brain to finish it. Every time I would do one strand of blue, I was allowed to do a strand of a different color. And I just went back and forth doing a strand of the baby blue in between every other color change, and it worked.
That is a great way to deal with block stitching. I like block stitching. I like repetitive borders. I like things I can memorize. So my favorite kind of stitching is when I don't have to look at a chart at all. I really need to do like a Carolyn Manning or something where you've got just, you know, triangles of color that you're filling in, except that it's, so, you know, I think that would probably soothe my brain some.
Sure.
I'm kind of hoping to start the peacorn that everybody does, the peacock, unicorn, and badger, maybe next year. And that's a block stitching. Like I've watched Kari stitching on it this year, and she's just made huge progress in 2025. And it's fun because it's like a coloring book page. You do the outline, and then you fill it in with a color. You know,
honestly,
so.
I would probably enjoy that too.
Right.
But I have to be in the right mood for it.
Sure.
It's like when the mood strikes to finish things, the iron is hot, so you strike.
That's right.
Finish 4 things, boom, 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 boom. But
I agree.
So like that cord, the DMC for that cord around my Curl Librarian sat in the same place in my closet. I moved it several times cleaning and went, oh, I still need to make that cord. Oh yeah, I still need to do that. And
well, okay, so then she came downstairs to borrow the quarter. She said, where did the quarter go? I don't know where the quarter is. So then we started reorganizing things downstairs again. So not only did we go through all my whips and all my charts, but I have 3 junk drawers of stuff in that same area where I've been keeping charts that are things like finishing trims and just, you know, the glue gun and just odd things.
Random stuff you use for finishing.
All my eyeglasses that I've ordered from Amazon to try every different magnification. Which, by the way, this time I thought I'd order 5s. Like I went, okay, I'm doing a lot of 46. Let's get some 5s. Those are too strong for me. I cannot use 5s. I've used 4.5 successfully, but 5 just takes it one step too far. I probably need to see an optometrist. Let an actual professional tell me what size reading glasses I should be using for tiny work, but most of the time I wear 3s. 3s are enough for me to do even 46 usually. Yeah. So 5 just takes it one step too far. Maybe we should start showing some cross stitch.
We have.
I know, but like our current stuff that we're working on.
Sure.
Do some whips.
Sure.
Okay, so I had 4 new starts at the beginning of July. First of all, in case you don't remember, July 1st, Canada Day, is my birthday. So I was 59 years old on July 1st. So I've got a big birthday coming up next year, which is why I think I'm so stressed about getting things organized and planning ahead. I do this to myself. I told my mother, you know, it's not enough that I'm a firstborn daughter of a firstborn daughter. That's not enough. It's my July 1st birthday means that I set all these New Year's resolutions and then I have an automatic mid-year check-in to see how I'm doing because then it's my birthday. So yeah, that's who I am.
That's just pressure you put on you, though. Like it's not.
Right, oh, of course. It's just who
not
I am.
anything that anybody else expects of you.
It. No. I'm not dismissive of it. I'm not proud of. It's just who I am. I'm just letting you know that's the weirdo I am. So, I started a new start on July 1st. Then I started a new start on July 4th. Then I started a new start on July 7th, just because I was in the mood to start it. And then I started a new start on July 12th because that's my mother's birthday. So 4 new starts, here they come. First up is Summer Sampler. And I kitted it while I was with my mom, so I have it in this Hobby Lobby tote bag, which is kind of fun for summer. It feels very beachy and fun. It's by Crochet A Go-Go. I have all of these big samplers going right now. I'm going to show you 3 today as whips. But this is Summer Sampler. I meant to look to see what percentage I got to. Wait, I think I wrote it down. I didn't show you my book of days either, but I'll show you that in a little while. Yeah, Summer Sampler, I'm at 16%. So I started this on July 1st, and I made it to 16% this month.
Wow.
So it's a fun one because, of course, it's got the orderly border, and I've got all the bones of the border in. Started putting in the little sunflowers, but that was tedious and I wasn't in the mood. So all of the samplers have these little trees. So I have those trees sort of memorized. So I went ahead and put in a row of trees, and I decided that Summer Swan was a thing I wanted to put on there. So I managed to get that stitched.
It's so sweet.
So, but I'm at 16% just by doing that much, which is really cool. And now I can move around the chart, you know, and work on the border. And I think I'm going to steal Mallory's brain-breaking move and do one flower before I can do anything on the inside, because those borders, whew, they just kind of, you know, they're intense.
I mean, if it's something that, an element of your chart that you don't enjoy and you're just trying to get it done anyway, it's a great way to trick yourself.
it. I mean, the colors of this chart are really beautiful. It's all DMC, which we had a DMC moment this week.
Yes, I said that's so quotable I could put it on a t-shirt.
I know. I said I forget sometimes because I stitch with fancy floss so much that I'm used to stitching English style, which is 1X at a time. And so I forget that I'm stitching with DMC. I forget that, and I just catch myself stitching 1X at a time. And I told her I was working on a project that was DMC, and I said, and it's just DMC, so I can Danish the crap out of it. That was my elegant quote for this time. But it is true.
Wouldn't that be great on a t-shirt?
When it's DMC, or also I have some NPI.
That are solid.
That are
no
solid,
variegation.
no variegation.
Yeah.
And if I could just remember, then I could make good progress.
There you go.
So that was Summer Sampler by Crochet A Go-Go, and I started it on my birthday. Yay. I only did because we were traveling and I couldn't start it on the first day of summer. So my plan was to work on it all summer, and I worked on it to 16% in July. I will continue working on it in August.
There you go.
My next start on the 4th of July, I put in my folder from Julie, and I did manage to print myself a paper copy of these charts so that I didn't always have to have markup RXP open. My iPad, you know, doesn't always love to stay open that much. And sometimes I just need it for a reference, you know, so then I open my iPad, mark up everything I've stitched kind of to keep up. So
And then it thinks that you stitched 900 stitches in a minute and a half.
But here's the thing. I started this one on July 4th. So I had just started that one on July 1st. Started this on July 4th. This one, I got to 20%.
What?
I did a center start.
You crazy girl.
I did a center start.
You've got a springling. Hold on.
I know. I'm still stitching.
Yes, but
I
just
left
wanted
it
to
there. Okay.
Not block the...
Right. So I stopped mid-thread hanging, as you can see, but I'm at 20-point-something%. I got the little girl here with her stripy skirt. This is what I worked on during Midsummer Stitch. I got her done. But I started in the center. Literally, I stitched 4 July on the 4th of July. So if I could finish this by next year's big celebration on July 4th, I will. But if I don't finish it until, you know, 5 years after that, that's okay with me too. Sure. So I'm just going to keep working on it. I actually, you know, I will pull this one out maybe on the 4th of every month, but I doubt I will give it too much more work than that. So this is American Sampler, also by Crochet A Go-Go. And because my birthday is July 1st, most of my life, my birthday was red, white, and blue. It's just, you know.
It feels like your birthday.
I vividly remember my 10th birthday during the bicentennial.
That is so cool.
So, you know, that was, and so now my 60th birthday will be the semi-quincentennial. Yeah. Which is, you know, half of 500 is what they're using to name this, which is kind of funny, right?
That is
half
funny.
of 500 is the name of the 250th.
That is kind of funny.
Okay.
All right, cool.
One more, and then I want you to show one.
Okay.
All right, so this, I closed my notes.
This is a bag you made last night.
I made this bag last night. Okay, and I moved my project into it immediately because how pretty is this bag? It made me so happy. So when I ordered Jessie Challenor, I ordered the little panel for the front, and it's just been laying there. And last night after dinner, I said, you know what? I think I could go ahead and make that bag because I'd gone up yesterday afternoon and found this red flower fabric in my stash. Oh, and I was going to write down what line of fabric this was, and then I didn't. So anyway, but it's just
very
super.
Pretty.
It's very sweet. And Jessie Challenor is an exclusive from the attic. So it came at the while I was out of town in June, and I started it on my mother's birthday. So it is, I had ordered the Vicki Clayton silks, which, by the way, I have to show this because this is just the best.
If you don't know already.
Okay, look, I keep my Vicki Clayton silks in these bigger bobbin boots when I can. And this, look at that. Look at the reds and the yellows and the greens. I mean, is there anything that's going to be better for a left-brained, also right-brained person than that? I was like, this is so great. So
Very satisfying.
Oh, man. Anyway, so there's exactly that many bobbins. Exactly. So those are the Vicki Clayton silks. So here's what happened. Here it is. On the 12th, I started this on the piece of linen they sent, which I think is a Mason linen. I've still got a needle in the corner. I probably need to move that needle. Anyway, started it, and I got this far, and you probably can't see that at all. And I went, I just don't love that color for that border, and this fabric's really hard for me to stitch on, and I'm not enjoying it, and what's going on here? And I looked at my chart, and I had picked up the wrong color for that border on 46 count.
Oh, no.
And I went, oh, that's not even the right thread anyway. I've done the wrong thing this whole way.
Oh, no.
I'm not pulling that silk out of there. And again, I'm not loving the color. I don't think you can see how green it is. It's a little green. And I didn't love it. I'm doing the paler colors. So I had a piece of 40 count light Sanditon from Swan Bay Fabrics in England. And I pulled the correct color, which is this gold, and I put it on light Sanditon. And I think I'm going to like that much better. And I think my piece is just the right size. I had only gotten a fat 1/8 instead of a fat 1/4. And so to make sure that I put it in the right spot, I started in the middle and worked out. So that's why I'm there with my M done so far. But anyway, I just love it. I think this is going to be much easier for me to work on. The 40 count's easier for me to needle, and I will probably just tuck this somewhere and then decide if I have to pull that out to use the linen. I'm pretty sure it was a Mason linen. I don't remember. Button box maybe, light button box or medium light. And 46 count. It was just a little tight for me to work on. And normally, I mean, I ordered 46 on purpose because I knew I had gotten the Vicki Clayton silks.
And silk nestles down into it.
Right. The Vicki Clayton on 46 is usually a lovely combo, but it also is a nice coverage on 40. So, anyway, it's just easier for me to stitch, and I'm going to work it on 40 now. So I'm using light Sanditon from Swan Bay Fabrics. I left my little thing in here. So,
and I love that now you've got a matching bag to go with
and
your
that
project.
makes me so happy. I just love it. I love this bag now so much.
That's
Yes,
so cool.
I had it in a buckleberry bag, but now that has freed my buckleberry bag for something I will show you from my haul. That is going to go now in the buckleberry bag, which
very nice.
this bag actually that I have over here will now hold a different project.
Very nice.
All right.
Should I show my new start?
Yeah, I have only one more new start.
Okay.
So.
This is a new start that I appear to have gotten a lot done on because this, in fact, was started by Mom.
Yes. So this is Al Forest Embroidery's Christmas birds. And
Aren't they cute?
Yes, I worked on this for a while, a very long while, actually. Have you done any on it yet? Or
I
just pulled
have
it out?
not.
Okay.
I pulled it out of my bird bag so that I
Okay.
could show it today because I wanted to show this is before.
Right.
And then I'm going to finish this sucker.
Perfect. So Al Forest Embroidery, if you don't know, is a wonderful design company, lots and lots of free charts. I bought this one. They have a free chart that's maybe a little more than 3/4 or a little more than half of this that just kind of chops off the bottom. But my intention when I bought it, my mother decorates the hall bathroom in her house with cardinals for Christmas, and I decided I was jealous of her cardinal Christmas bathroom, and I was going to do the same at my house. I was going to have a cardinal bathroom.
I thought you were going to say you were going to send this to her.
No. No. You always think I'm generous when I am just...
You are generous.
This was for me. So anyway, and I took it traveling, but it's on 14 count Aida, because I thought the only way I'm going to finish something this size is if I do it on Aida, and it's DMC, so it's all reasonable.
So you can Danish the crap out of that.
You can Danish the crap out of it, but I just I just ran out of interest of stitching on 14 count Aida.
And I'm so excited to work on it because it's just such bright, happy colors, and I love the geometry of the way the birds have been designed here, and there's only like 1/4 of it left.
Exactly.
So
maybe less.
75% done already.
Yeah.
That's going to be done lickety split. We'll have that up this Christmas.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
You know, everybody needs a Mallory.
And look how nice this is too.
Oh yeah, I had that in there.
All the flosses in a
That's
little...
a Starlight Stitching Co. clutch.
But you can also tell how long ago.
Yes, because you see how organized I was with my floss. Again, I am a much...
It looks kind of like what I would do.
I'm a better stitcher now. Yes. But fortunately, going through whips and UFOs helps Mallory go, hey, that one's pretty. I could work on that. I don't ever make her do anything.
No, but I volunteer.
But she definitely volunteers and takes things on. So then this is my last new start. I started this on July 7th. July 7th. Just because Rika and Sean were already stitching on it, and I succumbed to peer pressure. That's, I would say, 80% of the stitching in this house is because I succumbed to peer pressure. I'm just going to be honest.
We have this channel because we succumb to peer pressure.
That's fair. That is fair. So this is Marianne Farmer, and when I ordered her, I ordered the silks because Lori don't play. So I am doing it on 40 count color and cotton buttermilk and NPI silks, and the colors are wonderful. They're already getting a little tangly because I am stitching like my needle's on fire, and I've got some pieces hanging in here. Extra parts. Don't worry about that. Don't get stabbed with those needles up top. All right, so that's where I am. Let's move that green out of the way. Oh, I made it worse. There we go. Okay, so that's where I am. I love that top border. It was really fun to stitch all the way across to lay in one level, one leg, and then just keep coming with the other stripes. The little berries are fun to stitch, but I just decided to move down and get this in. I've still got 2 more flowers to put on that vase, but I was pretty pleased because this vase then sits on this stripe that goes through the midline. So I'll get that stripe in. I could definitely cut this fat quarter off if I run all the way down to the bottom. Honestly, I can measure and cut. I don't ever worry about not having enough fabric. But anyway, I just think it's beautiful. I love it. I love stitching. This may be the one I was working on that I said I could Danish the crap out of, honestly, because it's NPI, and yeah, I mean, it's just super to stitch on. It's on 40 count, buttermilk's light colored, so
everything's standing out so nicely.
So I stitched on this on Monday and Tuesday because it's Marianne Farmer, and we suddenly lived on a farm.
Yes, that was exciting. I don't know if anybody else who raises farm animals ever has this happen to them, but we have a rooster and a hen who have been shacked up together for the last couple of months. And I selected this particular hen because she was broody over her unfertilized eggs. And I thought, maybe she wants to be a mom. Maybe she wants to experience the miracle of birth. And so I gave her to our rooster so that the 2 of them could figure that out. They're 2 different breeds of chicken.
They
so
are.
I wasn't 100% sure they could even produce offspring.
Right.
But I had been keeping an eye on them, letting her sit on all of the eggs she wanted to keep, no big deal. But I had a moment where the Holy Spirit grabbed me by the shoulders and shook me and said, go outside.
And check
Go
those
outside
birds.
right now.
Go check those birds.
And so I said, yes, Lord. And I went outside. And before I could even cross the bridge over our pond, I could hear the cheeping. And we have 3 new babies.
And they are so
They're
cute.
so
And they look just like their mother.
Yes.
And we really didn't think the rooster had it in him.
Yeah, we weren't sure if he could even figure it out. But
no, but turns out that biology does in fact work. And so...
But they also were a little stressed out because they had hatched in a elevated run, and the mom couldn't figure out how to get them down to the grass.
Right.
So we had to figure out a rehousing situation for them. But chicks have been my existence the last couple of days, and they're the sweetest little black puffballs, and they're so cute. In fact, it reminded me of this pattern, Florence by Lori Holt. It's something that we're going to give away today.
Yeah.
Because this is one that I've already made. In fact, I love Lori's finish on this piece, but I also love that I finished mine in the round. So it finishes lots of fun ways. It's got all the floss in the back. It's even got a couple of needles in here.
It's DMC. We'll just send you this whole thing. That's right.
You just need fabric. And now you can experience the joy of chickens with me.
That's right. So we will send you Florence. Just say chicken somewhere in your comment.
All lowercase.
To win the chicken chart. That is part of a series. If you enjoy stitching, Florence,
Yes, it's part 2, number 2 of 12.
Yes, there are 12 chickens available, including a rooster, that you can get as part of that series from Fat Quarter Shop. So anyway, but Mallory really enjoyed stitching that one, and you know, Florence with her little chick.
These are bonus babies. Because if you remember in May, I got myself 10 little chicks as a birthday gift for me.
That's right.
So I just finished raising those 10 up to juvenile size, and now I've got brand new babies again.
Yes. So.
And if you're ever curious, how small is a newborn chick? Hold an egg in your hand.
That's right. That's how small they are.
They are just the tiniest.
Yes.
And so sweet.
But they grow so fast.
Yes.
And yeah. So anyway, they're cute as they can be, and who knew that we were going to have chickens? It made me think of Teresa Garden Goose and her bird adventures at her place.
Spontaneous chickens.
So I have 7. Those were my 4 new starts. I have 7 whips. Do you have a bunch of whips or just your?
Don't, because I spent so much time this month sinking all of my stitching time into one project.
Okay. Well, I will try and move quickly through my 7 whips then, just so we can maybe not be on here for 6 hours. Yeah. But next up I have Mary Finley. Mary Finley is another Scarlet House chart that I love. But I'm doing Mary Finley on a darker linen.
Love it.
It's beautiful.
I love
this is Mason linen. It's the medium dark. It's not button box. I don't remember which one it was now off the top of my head. Well, maybe it's on my ring. This is why I do this. I don't know.
This is why we write things down.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all knew that, but that's why I write things down. It is on 40 count. Oh, this is button box medium dark. Look at me. All right.
So you knew exactly what it was.
I did know. Who knew? Anyway, it's a lot of red and green. When I, of course, put those floss out and then put them right back. It's a lot of red and green, but it does have other colors that are going to show up eventually. But it's mostly red and green. The picture of the chart shows you that. I'm kind of looking forward to when I get down to these purples that are in here. This kind of, interesting color combos like that one.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So anyway, but I'm stitching this with my friend Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. And we just decided to stitch it together. She's doing a lighter linen from her stash. And I ordered this from Kitten Stitcher, where it's an exclusive. So you get the chart there, and she had the piece of Mason linen to size as, for sale in her shop. And I went, oh, okay, so I'll order that. And then turned out Cheryl already had it in her stash, so we just decided to stitch it together.
So say less.
Yes, so that's really fun. My next whip is Spring Sampler. So I told you guys, oh, everything's tumped over. I told you guys that I'm doing all the samplers. So Spring Sampler, I only have its cover page printed. I had started last year. It is currently at spring is at 15.2%. And I pulled it out the other day because it has that orderly border that I love so much about these samplers. And so I pulled it out of the bag and just started stitching. So I literally had only stitched the border to even with this tree.
Oh, wow.
And
So
I
you
just
stretched it
I
out.
just came here and here from my imagination.
Because you have it memorized.
Because it's super easy to do. And then I went and found my iPad wherever I had it plugged in to charge and marked off where I was. So, you know, it was like maybe 5 or 6 strands of floss that I just sat and stitched without having to do anything else, which was lovely. And it's one of my favorite things.
That sounds so restive.
It really is.
Yeah.
This chart, I try to approach each of these samplers a little differently. So I got that from Samantha, the Huga Stitcher.
yeah.
She does a lot of mirabilia, and she says over and over that when she works through those charts, she tries to approach them a little differently. One she'll start in the middle, one she'll start in the top and work down, one she'll, you know, so she's got a different strategy on them. And I thought, you know, that makes a lot of sense. You don't get bored that way. You know, it just tricks your mind. Anyway, so when I had started this one originally, I was traveling. I was at my in-laws, and I had just started in this corner. I remember stitching that little bird while I was in a car repair shop waiting room, actually.
That's great.
So watching game shows on their TV. Yeah. Anyway, but
I do love how we connect our environment with our stitching.
I know, it's crazy, but it's true. I mean, you just, every piece you work on, you go, oh, I remember when I was there and doing the thing, and yeah. So spring sampler, I got a little more work on. It's factoring on into my coming plans as well, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. All right, next up, besides spring sampler, is Ann Taylor. So Ann Taylor is the other chart that I bought from as a PDF because Laura DeWitt showed them on her Instagram that same first week of May last summer. And she showed this one first. I bought it. I started on it, and I really jumped into it and enjoyed it so much. And then she showed the next one, and when she and Brenda came back to do their FlossTube, she hadn't even started this one, and she only worked on the other one, and I felt gypped. Laura, I felt gypped. I had put a lot of work into this one. Actually, it's not true. I love this one so much. I told you I'm a sort of a mid-century modern kind of girl, and this thing has got like the vibes, right? It's just so good.
As the kids say, the vibes are giving.
Yes, they are. So it's only 6 colors. You can do it whatever color palette you want. I am using the called for, but it's 2 rusts, 2 golds, and 2 greens. And maybe rust, gold, and green are not your colors. Maybe you want to do it in, you know,
pink and lime and
aqua, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be beautiful. Or just red up the red and deepen the green and maybe use, you know, 2 shades of gray or something. I mean, whatever makes you happy. So I just love it so much. And I'm trying to get this whole top band done. I'm very close. I got to fill in this little guy right here. And I've got a few more flowers. I made some progress on the flowers. I've got a few more flowers to fill in. And then I'm to the alphabet. And you know how fast that alphabet's going to go.
yes, yes, yes.
So that's my goal, I think, in August, is I'd love to get the alphabet done in August. And, you know, not because it's alliterative or anything like that.
Or back to school
Or
any of those
Any of
things.
those. Also, because Ann Taylor is my WIPCO call for August. How nice is it when the world works out like that? Like, I'd already just pulled it out. Oh, and when I put this one together, because it's only 6 colors, I actually stapled a piece of wool on the back of each one, and each one's got a needle ready to be loaded.
Oh, that's
so that I
so
can
smart.
switch from color to color. So it's literally a little cut of wool on the back of each floss tag.
Just stapled on.
And I've got needles stuck in the back of each one.
That is so
Because
smart.
it's a small, like I can't do that on, you know, 25 colors of silk or whatever. It would just snag all the time. It'd be crazy. I made this bag. This is another one that I just loved, this fabric line. And I have one of my little, it's a cross-stitched, I used NPI over one on 28 count and did a little robin that came from the This I Know chart by Plum Street. And so, anyway.
It's so cute.
And Taylor is that one. And I don't think I even told you, but it's a heartstring samplery chart. So you can get it at heartstringsamplery.com. She has a lot of PDFs. I don't know if you've ever looked there, but whew, there's a lot. That's really all my whips per se. I've got 3 more or 4 more that are from stitch-alongs that I'm working on. I did catch up on my June whip goes from where I was traveling and not able to do them. So I worked a little bit on Jane Thompson and I worked a little bit on This Happy Morning, but I didn't make enough progress for you people to ever notice what I did. So I didn't pull them out because Lord knows there's enough to show. And I have to tell you, you know, I did 2 whip go boards. I did one that was for my samplers.
And smalls, right?
No,
samplers.
Samplers. Seasonal and smalls go together.
Okay.
Samplers and stitch-alongs
Stitch-alongs
go together.
Yeah.
So, but my smalls and seasonal stuff are just, it's not working for me. I'm not, they get called, like, okay, the June calls was Silhouette's Quaker, and I don't remember what the other one was. Let's see if I see the word June. So, oh, and Gingerbread House. I did not touch those things. I'm not working on my witches or my gingerbread house in June, first of all. And I was gone in June, and I'm not pulling them out in July. Like, it's just not happening. So I think next year I won't do seasonal whip go because of the nature of the randomness of the calls. Like, I want to work on seasonal during seasons.
During the season, yeah.
So I'm just, you know, I might do a whip go that says, you know, like the size of a seasonal, like medium, pull out a medium seasonal whip, you know, pull out a large, pull out a small, and then see how that goes. That might be easier to do. What I did do is work a little bit on Ducks in the Orchard. Yay. And Ducks is the sal that I'm hosting. I really just brought it down. You see my needles down here. I brought my border down a couple more levels. I've got one more X here, but I thought I'd come down and get the bottom border in. So I've sort of lost my way from the way I had originally said we would work on this, which was a page finish I didn't do that. So now it's July, and I'd love to have this entire thing finished in January. So I'm just looking at the rest of this as how much can I get done each month, you know, kind of thing. Sure. And January is my own goal, you know, like I don't have to have it done by January, but I'd like to have a lot more done, especially before we go to Barefoot Needle Arts in February, which I hope we'll do. So
it was so exciting last February.
Yes.
Because we were able to, not February, October, because we were able to find this in the store. The model was stitched.
Yeah.
It was exciting. Everybody jumped on board, and then eventually the excitement kind of wears down. But it's so nice that people have been tagging you on Instagram to show you their finishes.
And several people have finished. Yes, exactly. People who didn't really follow any sort of, you know, harebrained scheme I had for a stitch along and have just done it. And this is the Vicki Clayton silks. I have them in this box. Which does make it pretty nice for keeping them all organized. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count Mackinac
fudge.
Yeah, Mackinac fudge that is from Needle and Flax. So I love it, and I do feel like the colors look really pretty on it. It's a more chocolatey brown,
fudgy.
Similar in depth of color to the called for Dirty Pirate, and I just didn't buy Dirty Pirate.
Is what I stitched my Crow Librarian on.
Right, so you can sort of see
the color difference.
Yeah,
it's
mine's
almost like Dirty
browner.
Pirate's purpler.
Especially with all the purple in that.
Oh yeah, and not only that, but the picture of Ducks in the Orchard looks like it's on a purple fabric just from the color quality of the photograph, and so that is interesting as well.
Yeah. So this is a stitch along that you can join in now that's being hosted by Swad D. on their website. That's a website in the Netherlands. And it's called the Black Rooster Stitch Along. Black Rooster 1811 Summer Sal is what it's called. And so we've gotten, this is our 5th week's clue, and I'm still working on that center medallion that came in on the 5th week, where the Black Rooster has now shown up. So I don't have his body and legs on yet, but that's where I've gotten to. I've actually kept up really well. So what I've done is brought each week's PDF into Markup RXP as a brand new chart, and then painstakingly marked everything that I had marked from the week before, and then moved on. So gotcha. I don't really have my true progress because each week it becomes a new thing, but I don't care. So anyway, I've left the L and the M off my alphabet because, you know, that's how I sometimes customize my sampler alphabets. Since I am Lori Millsap, I can put that whatever color I want. So I'm kind of waiting to see where the other colors turn up in this mystery stitch along. It's 12 weeks long and we've done 5. So I mean, obviously it's not a frantic paced thing. I have it on a piece of Swan Bay Fabrics. Pemberley is the color that I chose. And I pulled Belle Soise from my stash for this. So because I had this wonderful poison apple color, which is what the red is here, left over from Anne Hunt. And many of these colors were left over from Anne Hunt. And then I also get the Belle Soise monthly club. So I actually, after I got a month recently that was all blues, I changed the blue that I had pulled. I mean,
you hadn't used it yet.
I hadn't used it yet.
Chart.
I had mare blue and I decided it was a little too dark, and so I switched it out for Chester's. So I have Chester's blue and Ivy League, cranberry, poison apple, icing, Scarecrow, and Old Crow. And literally every color except the Chester's blue I purchased for Anne Hunt.
Oh, nice.
So this is...
So it just carried over
right,
to a new project.
And Chester's blue came in my monthly club. So I didn't have to buy anything. It all came from my stash. I mean, I bought everything, but it all came from my stash, and I get to use this beautiful piece of Pemberley that I had purchased. So
it's gorgeous.
Yes, I think it's lovely, lovely. I'm pretty sure it's 40 count.
Yeah.
So anyway, I love that Black
Fantastic.
Rooster stitch along. And then I got some work done on Sparrow. I have not worked on Sparrow. Now this one Mallory has to help me with because you
Most
know,
definitely.
this is His Eyes on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. It's that sheet of Dirty Teacup. It's 36 count Dirty Teacup. And so I got a little more border done here and a little more border done here and a couple of apple leaves in this time. I didn't get, you know, thousands of stitches in or anything, but I got a little bit done in July on Sparrow, and I'm going to keep working on Sparrow. It's on 36 count on a light colored linen, and it's one of those projects that just absolutely gives you those little pops of endorphins when you finish a motif, you know? So
Like, oh, look at that cute little cat. You get that dopamine hit. And
yes.
Then,
So I'm going to work on this. You know, I don't know if I'm going to bring the border all the way around, which I have memorized and I don't have to look at a chart. That makes me really happy. Or if I'm just going to move on to more motifs in the middle. But it's with the called for variety of overdyed cottons, which you can see are well loved. Mostly the reds and greens, boy, because that's where that border is. But anyway, and I worked on this while we were traveling last summer, so it's still got my Vermont key tag on there, which I kind of love. So yeah, I got a lot done. Sparrow and my final project. Okay, so
this is Sal as well?
This is Sal. This is Anniversaries the Heart that I'm saling with two people who aren't saling it at all. So I don't feel as guilty about abandoning ducks and coming back to it because Kari and Jessica, Tiger Lily and Sweetwater Stitcher, are hosting a sal for Anniversaries the Heart for 2025. And our goal was to finish 15 sections of this chart in 2025. I got a good start. Kari started cracking on animal crackers. Jessica's, got small children and also loves stitching all the things. So Anniversaries of the Heart just is not on either of their radar much anymore. But I had a really good start, and I hate to just abandon it. So a couple of months ago, Teresa, Garden Goose, who's been keeping up with the Sal, said she didn't finish 1 month, and I also had not finished, maybe April. And she said, I've just decided I'm going to do as much as I can in each month, make sure I can get across and get each month started in the month it's in, and then I can come back to it next year.
It's a lot of stitches.
They're only like 75 by 85. They're small, but
like the houses are dense.
They are. It's solid stitching, a lot of it. And I chose 46 count Sleeping Bear, and so I have to have really good light, and I have to have really good, the eyesight thing's got to be working. So I just been busy. April I didn't finish. Then May I didn't finish. Then June we were traveling, and boy didn't I finish it. And suddenly, yesterday I went, oh, it's July 30th, and I haven't started. So I got started on July, and I actually got a pretty good start. So it made me happy. So I had worked across on June. So this is April. And it's Little Pink House, and I just haven't, and 2 purple urns, and that's where it sits. And then here's May, and I got Mallory's 1989 in the roof, and I've still got more house to fill in. It's just, a big, giant fill house. And, June I had only given the bird, so I got the bird and its little flower pot and came on across over here with that border.
I'm glad
so
you didn't
that I would know where the end of June comes. And then last night I started July, and so I got started on this border. Oh, in July I'll show you the chart.
Very different border-wise.
It is very different, but it's beautiful. It's called Swan Lake, which I really like for July. It's beautiful. I will put my mother's initials probably on this one, and her year of birth. And she was 80 this month, so that will be really fun. And so anyway, it's got these 2 swans and this big gray house. So it's very dense stitching again, but I went ahead and started. I love the swan. Its color is a color I've never used before. Magnolia Blossom is the white. And it's very pretty. It's a soft, almost a buttercream.
Yeah, because it's got like a hint of yellowness to it.
Yeah, let's see. It's right up front. Yeah, look at it. Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous.
So there's the swan color. But so this is when I was organizing, adding. So this is now April, May, June, July, and August floss all on one ring so that I can take this with me when we travel. And keep working on it. So I showed you July. Of course, July was a 2-part chart, and I started with the first block here in the center. That's the bonus chart from July. So I have that one done, and that one's the one I dedicated to me. I did the LM in purple.
Yeah.
And everything else is there in the pink.
I love the July charts are going to stack right on top of each other.
That makes me happy. So anyway, here's, Swan Lake, and that's July. And then, of course, here's the April one is called Pink Hill Manor.
And that's the start of it.
That's the start of it up in that corner. And then here's the May block that's called Farmhouse. And it's, I'm close on May. I really wanted to get it finished, but, it's just going to take me a little while longer. It is what it is. June is called Happy Birthday. But I am not sure yet what I'm going to dedicate June to.
Oh.
I haven't decided. That's part of the reason why it was hard for me to move on.
Sure.
Because this May block, or April block is in my brain is May because I got a bonus month in here. So it's 5. It's the 5th block. And that's the one, it's too pink and purple to be Dennis's block. It can't be. So it's just too pink and purple. So I think this block is where I'm going to dedicate to my grandparents, my mother's parents, because the pink makes me think of my granddaddy's pink suit.
Oh,
and the flowers make me think of my grandmother. So that's probably what I'm going to do there. And then the June block may end up having...
That you gave the bird?
Yes, that I gave the bird. May end up having Justin and Maggie's anniversary date.
Oh, that would be so
That may be what goes there. But October, of course, will be Maggie's block. But she probably also should get June. And then here comes August, and it's going to be for my brother.
Oh, yes.
And it's, on this one, it says Clara Ellen, dear sister, but I'll, obviously change that to...
No, just leave it.
Dear sister.
John, dear sister.
No. But anyway, it's the Clara Ellen block is, not too feminine in colors, which I liked.
Yes.
So that'll be nice for John. And I pulled the flosses for that one. So
Lovely.
hopefully while we travel in August, now that July got started, I can work July over far enough that I can get a good start on August. So that's the plan for Anniversaries of the Heart. I'm going to try my best to at least have sketched in where all 15 go by the end of the year, and then just get back to it next year as those months show up. I'll get a break, see, then from January, February, and March when I finish those. So it'll be coming soon in April of 2026. I'll start again. So.
Very cool.
All right, so those are all my whips.
My final whip is yarn related, so should we hold it to the end?
No, I go ahead and show it.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
So this is one that I started simply because I didn't have any other knit project happening.
Oh.
So I had finished my big knit project.
Right.
And then I immediately cast this on. And it's going to be a wrap, a blanket of sorts. It's in this nice creamy color. And it wasn't until when I was shopping at Michael's, because I ran out of yarn and was like, oh, this is not big enough, I need some more. I got to Michael's, they had more of the exact same color. But I was drawn to the clearance section that had different textures. And I pulled these. So my plan for this project is I'm making it into a wrap, but I am going to connect the black yarn to one end of this and connect the reddish brown to the other side of this and give it to my mother-in-law for Christmas because these are the colors of her 3 dogs, Baxter, Murray, and Cricket.
That's perfect. And yes, those are very good representations of her doodle dogs.
Yes, they've got the hair going on.
Yes.
So, for sure. And I thought that would be a nice, sweet way for her to remember them because Baxter and Murray have already passed on and she's down to 1 dog at her house and she's not having any more dogs. She's done with pets.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that, though. I think she'll get another dog.
Well, it could happen, yeah.
It could happen.
It could
I mean,
happen.
people change their mind, right?
Oh, and the other thing I was going to say about this project, I'm glad I wrote it down. So you can see, this is where I ran out of yarn. I have exactly that much left. There's the end of the row, but it is about 10 stitches, and that yarn's not going to make it there.
Oh, no. So you got to pull a whole row out?
So I'm going to have to back up an entire row and rejoin yarn. But what I found is cool, I learned this on YouTube this month. When you reverse your knit stitches and you take them off the left-hand hook, put them back on the right-hand hook and unwork them, it's called tinking.
Oh, yeah,
because it's knit smelled backwards.
Yes.
Tink.
Yes.
And knit. I was like, that's the cutest thing ever. It's not cute in crochet because then it's like to crock or something, but
right, no.
It's cute in knitting.
Right. Tinking is
Tinking.
frogging, essentially.
I'm going to tink it out.
Yes, that's great. Oh, my goodness.
I think it's great.
Okay, so we've done new starts, whips, Sal's, haul. Are we ready for haul?
I think so.
Okay, because I've got some haul. So let me show you this one first because it was fun. I found this, I think it was on the Stash Unload is where it was marketed, but the lady who was selling it online just had this wonderful little, case. And it's one of those little jewelry boxes. So on the inside, it looks like a jewelry box, right? It's just like that. And I haven't done anything fancy to it yet. But it's got the 250th anniversary, and it's my favorite aqua. And it came with a matching tape measure that
Always
also
handy.
says 250th anniversary. It came with the American flag, embroidery scissors, and the patriotic U from Primrose, which, you know, is a wonderful little needle minder. And then 3 colors of blue Weeks Dye Works floss. So I was like, okay, sold. I'll take it. You know, I probably had all 3 of these blues in my stash, but you can always,
they're so pretty together.
You can always use more. And so I will probably figure out a bag. I actually have American Welcome in a bag, kitted, ready to get started. And I may start that in the new year, like maybe January 4th for a July 4th finish, you know, like to have another patriotic going. We'll see how I'm going on American Sampler at that point. I don't really want a couple of large. Now, it's not nearly as big as American Sampler, but still. So this is really cute. I got that in my haul.
Nice.
I got my new Tiger Lily bag. Is this gorgeous? Look, isn't it great? So it's the Keeper Club for this quarter. The July Keeper Club came with a chart. Oh, I zipped it instead of unzipping it to show you. Sorry, all the zipping. It came with a chart. It came with all the finishing stuff. It came with my favorite Lori Holt needles. And it came with the silk to stitch the chart. And it came with these beautiful Jersey Girl Stitch Co. buttons. So anyway.
Counting pins or buttons?
Yeah, counting pins. You get what I meant. And so you can make this little pin cushion and put your counting pins in the corner. So I immediately just slid this right in there, and this will travel with me and it'll give me a small to work on while we're going. So she always includes the list. Oh, there was also candy, but that candy is open and in the other room, and I had to defend it from the teenagers. Yes. So gummy butterflies were delicious. I haven't eaten them all, but they're good. Let's see. I got this one that I stuck all together in the Ziploc bag so I wouldn't lose parts because I've pulled floss and everything. But I got Happy Day, which is the Sampler Club Guild of the Rockies anniversary piece that I just assumed I was too late to get. But Chris, the camping stitcher, said that she emailed them after the fact and asked to purchase it. And so I did the same thing, and Katrina happily sent me the chart, and so I've pulled, I didn't have a single color on this list.
Oh no.
Not one. It was so funny, like none of the called for colors. So
including the DMC? Or?
Yeah, well, I had some of the DMC, but so
okay.
I pulled the DMC, and then the DMC colors were super prim, and so I ended up going back to my Classic Color Works and just pulling colors I liked. So this is, I haven't even finished kitting it up yet, but these are the colors I'm going to use. 1 DMC and two, I guess, because I'm going to use DMC 310 for the black. But anyway, I thought it was beautiful, and I'm going to get started on this. So I decided I was going to do it on a piece of Milk and Honey. And so I grabbed this piece of Milk and Honey, pulled it out, and went, oh, I'm sure I've got a big enough piece. And found a finish. Y'all, I was like, what is that doing there? Why have I not turned that into something? So obviously I have a little pillow to make, but I clearly have plenty of Milk and Honey to also finish this cute little Teresa Kogut snowman trio that came from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And I fully finished back in the day. Well, no, I fully stitched back in the day and then lost it. And I wonder how I lost it. I folded that piece of linen up and put it away in the linen drawer like a dummy. So anyway,
It happens. I mean,
I thought it was funny.
It's
like
funny.
it's like a free finish now, because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, look at that. I did not even know that was there.
yeah, and if you need to give that to your in-house finisher, I'm happy to help you.
There you go. Well, the sewing kind of finishes I don't mind doing myself. Sure. All right, and then this came from Attic Needlework yesterday. I was so excited. So this is Marianne Buck, and this is what's going in the Buckleberry bag.
Yes.
I mean, it's a no-brainer, right?
Yes.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
So anyway, this is going to go right back into that buckleberry bag so that I can start it whenever I'm ready. But
Yes.
I ordered it fully kitted, so it's everything. And so that's why it took so long. I ordered it, you know, in March, I think, and it's finally here. But I've got 46 count Muddy Duck from Tabby Cat.
Which I love.
I love it, but I'm not convinced that this is the color I'm going to stitch this on. Again, 46 count.
Oh.
And I think I'll move faster on 40. But I ordered the Soie intentionally because it's the super fine version of Soie d'Alger. Well, this is the 103s. Avera Soie has 103 silk. They have Soie d'Alger that come in a skein. And it's a little heavier weight.
Right.
So 103 is a little smaller, and then Soie is the very fine,
super fine.
Super fine,
Yeah.
right, is how that's spelled. So there's a lot of over 1 in this chart.
Oh, and that's what the super fine is for?
Right, so that you can do full cross on 46.
Okay.
Would be 46 stitches per inch.
Right.
You know. So I just have to decide if I want to, but I was so happy to get them. And, you know, so 6 colors of the Soie for the over 1 areas and 13 colors of 103. And then the chart and the linen, and I was
fantastic.
It's a wonderful.
And it's going in the buckleberry bag.
And it's going to go in the buckleberry bag. That's right.
Buck.
Okay, so you saw how many bags I made, right? I can make bags, obviously. This does not stop me from buying bags, especially from other floss tubers that I love. So my Penelope's pocket bag came. Look at this garden bag.
It's so cute.
Isn't it beautiful? So Sarah, who is Penelope's Pocket, makes these beautiful bags. I love this eggplant stuff so much. This is just lovely. So it's got this eggplant purple stripe and binding, and it's, you know, gorgeous. She makes her own tassels that she puts on there. And since she's the one who talked me into getting my early days, and then I saw that Celeste on Celeste Creates, who, by the way, 5 years on FlossTube. Holy smokes,
wow.
Right? Isn't that great?
That's amazing.
Celeste has made great progress on this month. So when I have another new start, this will probably be that new start because the colors, y'all, it's got this dark blues in there, so pretty. Well, I've got to pull this out and show you because I even got the floss drop thing from Sarah that's got the little garlic.
Yes.
Yeah, look at the little garlic on there.
I love that so much.
So, yes, it's wonderful.
And
so
what are those called? A cabochon or something like that?
I'm going to call it thread bling.
Okay.
So that's easier to say. I got that.
I love that she used a scrap of the same fabric that's on the bag, though.
I know.
Like, I've seen it with, you know, just printed paper and that sort of thing, but with fabric, that's so smart.
Yes,
so
and I went ahead and bought a beautiful little pair of gold scissors. So, I mean, it's coming from England, so you got to get everything at once, right?
Sure.
And she included these aren't these darling little postcards? Yep. And then she wrote me a little note, which was very sweet. That actually, and it's got a little button on it. Look at this little bee button.
That's so cute.
So, Penelope's Pocket. Anyway, I love it so much, and so this was a fun addition to my collection, and I am going to get started on that.
That
And
is
it's
awesome.
so summery, right? Just
Very.
the most summery. And then finally, my last piece of haul that's very cool is I told you I'm doing the Black Rooster Stitch Along by Soie. This is how you spell Soie, in case you were wondering. Soie. Anyway, this is her big house sampler, and I just thought it was glorious. So I pre-ordered it before it was ever even fully published, but it's beautiful size. I mean, I really want to show you something here. Just whoop. I mean, isn't that great?
Little flash.
Little flash so you can see, like, it's so readable. if you're going to have a paper chart, I feel like, you know, you need one.
Do it this way, yeah.
And so then this was neat to me. I don't want to really pop it out, but okay, let's see if I can do it this way. She included Mallory's favorite kind of way of organizing the floss on a card that comes out. It's just barely taped in so that you can put your floss on there. So you've got the key and everything. Yes, I thought that was genius. So anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful big house.
Wow.
And I love it. And so I won't start this one right away. It's just going in my collection, but
now that the collection is organized,
that's right. Now that it's organized.
you can put it in that book that says it's not hoarding.
No, it's not at all. Not even a little bit of hoarding.
Well, I didn't really get any haul cross stitch wise this month. And I just worked on things I already had, but I did end up buying a significant amount of yarn.
Yes, because you got to travel for the 4th of July.
I did. I spent the 4th of July with my in-laws, and that was so nice because we got to visit and spend time together. But while I was there, my mother-in-law and I collaborate and work on making doll clothing together. So I knit tiny sweaters, tiny hats. I'll put a couple of pictures of her finished dolls so that you guys can see that they're adorable, and she does a great job. She then donates them to kids in need who don't have toys, and so she puts so much love and effort into making these little doll clothes, and I'm trying to meet her halfway.
Sure. Yeah.
So I had brought several tiny doll sweaters that needed just like the last bit of end tucking, and I'm sitting there doing that when my husband's grandmother, so my grandmother-in-law, came over, and she is about yay tall. Like, she's just this sweet,
she's a tiny little thing.
Little French woman. And she came over and said, "Oh, what are you working on?" And so I'm showing her. She picked up one of my yarns. In fact, she picked up this yarn, and she said, "Oh, this is so soft." And I said, "Yes, it is a wonderful baby weight kind of yarn, and it's very soft." And she said, "Could you make me a sweater out of this?" She's 97 years old. And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I can." And I took her measurements immediately. And so,
because what do you say to that?
I mean,
right?
and I'm sitting on the couch next to my darling husband, who overhears this and goes, "How many skeins are you going to need?" And he immediately starts ordering it online from Hobby Lobby. And I was
That's
like,
so great.
You are a precious, precious person.
This is the Baby Bee Sweet Delight Prince French Fields yarn.
That was an accident.
Okay.
French Fields, my French.
It's a Hobby Lobby yarn. It's only $6 a skein. That's when yarn's not on sale, which of course everyone knows.
Every other week.
The Hobby Lobby scam, way
of
of
life.
putting things on sale every other week.
Yes.
So just shop wisely, my friend.
Correct.
But yeah.
We purchased, because I had just worked on that cardigan, and I understood from it that it takes more yarn than you expect to make that much fabric. We went ahead and ordered, I believe, 9 skeins. So I had a little bit left from the skein that Grand Mère was actually handling that I could start with. And then I bought all kinds of, so I've got still in the bags that they came in, because it did not take 9 skeins. In fact, these 6 skeins are going to have to go into a baby blanket that I can donate to our church.
Or you can make me a sweater just like Grandma's, because boy, do I love it. I know, she got so tired of rounds and rounds.
Well, it's not that it was tiring.
You haven't mailed it yet.
I
Oh,
haven't.
no,
No,
okay,
it's right
good.
here.
Okay.
It's not that it was tiring, it's that I was working from no pattern. And so I kept second guessing my own math.
Right.
Because I was basing it off of the gauge of a swatch that I had already knit, and then the measurements that I had taken from her. So I just needed to get all the dimensions correct. This is the first sweater I've ever knit in its entirety.
For a human-sized person.
Yes, not a doll. And
right.
Even those doll sweaters, they're technically cardigans. They've got buttons and you open in the front.
So that's right. So
I've knit a cardigan for my youngest child, and so now here I am having knit my first sweater. And this totally fits my youngest child because she and my grandmother-in-law are about the same size.
Here, let me hold it so you can talk about it. Look how gorgeous this is.
So I was really pleased.
The heathered colors
I was really pleased with how it came out.
Wonderful.
I started this on circulars and just made the neck, a nice stretchy 2x2 ribbing.
And it's more like a boat collar. When Gumdrop tried it on, I was impressed by how much of this was on her shoulders.
Yes.
You know, so it was really more open.
So it's going to have a place where, you know, a turtleneck or a collared shirt can come on top of this to dress it up however she wants to. I did the body and actually finished the bottom edge with 2x2 ribbing that I split on each side so that it'll be more comfortable to sit down and what have you. The arms I did on double pointed needles in the same size gauge as the rest of the sweater, and I don't know why, but it felt like the arms took the longest.
Well, and they're so narrow, but it's super stretchy.
It's so stretchy.
So, you know, that was the thing, is I was concerned that it was going to be too small, but I mean, I honestly think I could put this over my arm, so certainly it would fit over hers.
Right. It's just, I work pretty tight with my knitting.
Well, and it's such fine yarn.
And it's a fine yarn.
So it was, tell them you did the math on how many stitches you did?
Yes, for school one day, I decided, wouldn't it be fun to figure out the math behind how many stitches this is? It was a little more than 50,000 stitches, which means, because I can't stitch 1,000 stitches in an hour, it took over 50 hours.
Oh, sure. And so for, you know, some sort of relevant number to compare that to, Sparrow, the one that's a sheet, is only about 50,000 stitches. So when you think knitting versus cross stitch, you know, and yes, perhaps a knitting stitch is easier, smoother, faster, I don't know. But honestly, is it? I mean, I've done some knitting. It's not. It's the same idea.
But this was the majority of my July because my sweet grandmother-in-law, like I said, is 97. She asked me this question on July 4th.
But she finished it on July 24th.
And I'm going to mail it to her so that she can have it and wear it just as much as she wants because she deserves it.
Isn't it gorgeous? I mean, I just think it's so pretty. And
it's so soft.
It is so soft, and the size of the needle with the size of the yarn, like it's so petite. I think it's perfect for a tiny little 97-year-old woman to wear.
Yes.
Like, I think she will be toasty in it.
Yes,
So,
I hope it keeps her warm.
Yes.
Of course, it's July, so she's probably not going to need to stay warm.
No, that's not true. Most of the elderly ladies I know are still trying to wear something warm inside the air conditioning.
Oh, that's fair.
You know, that you just, you know, it's...
Your body heat doesn't stay.
That's right.
Anyway, so I have all of that excess French Fields color palette yarn that I have yet to determine what I'm going to do with it. That sweater for Grand Mère took approximately 3 skeins.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
That's so funny.
And a pattern from my brain because I did not think to buy a pattern, so
Well,
make it up.
I mean, now that you know you could make one that size, why wouldn't you look and see if there is a pattern that has a style that you'd like to try and learn?
Sure.
You basically have free yarn now to learn a new pattern.
Honestly, one of the things that I loved about the way that this sweater starts is that 2x2 ribbing. You could make that as long as you want and then increase the yoke and then stop there. And so what I'm actually thinking I'm going to try to do is make myself, I mean, that's a dickie, right?
Sure.
But make myself color work dickies so that I can just have almost like a scarf, something to keep my neck warm that has all the intricate color work that I love to do. Because that's easier to show off than socks. Nobody looks at my feet.
Oh, that's true. So you'll just wear these things like scarves in the winter? You'll just pull them on under your
Yeah, let's see what
jacket?
mood I am, and I'll make them fun things like T-Rexes.
All right. I want to talk about plans real quick, and then we've got giveaways. So, because this came to me in a vision. So my August plan, I've got to travel again. I don't have to. We're going to get to travel again. My father-in-law, who we just were there because he got his knee replaced, will be 90 on August 16th. So after World Cross Stitch Day next Friday, where we are having an event locally that's going to be super fun. So we're going to celebrate World Cross Stitch Day together, and then we've got the shelter meal on Sunday. Then I'm going to head back down to visit the in-laws in South Mississippi. And I will be gone probably 3 weeks this time. till Labor Day at least. Because Dennis also has an 8 Days of Hope training right before Labor Day in Tupelo. So I'll get to see both sets of parents. It's a wonderful trip. But I'll be going again. So I decided I'm going to have a go-go August. And I'm going to take all my Crochet a Go-Go samplers and I will a go-go. And I'm just gonna, they're all on 36 count. Some are darker, as you saw in the spring sampler, which I chose because it had so much white. I wanted the white to really pop.
Right, the pop, yeah.
And that hot pink, I just thought looked great on it. But most of them are, you know, sort of a medium color linen. They're all on 36 count. So I've got all those. Plus my whip go calls for August were my Ann Taylor and my Anniversaries of the Heart. And I'm like, well, that was just so nice of them to do that. So then I've also got Agnes Carnes, that one that I've been working on.
Anniversaries, Anne and Agnes.
And a go-go.
So, and the go-go.
So great. I'm so excited about that.
For August, which also starts with the letter A.
I know.
This month of Cross Stitch brought to you by
the letter A. It's going to be super fun. So that's my plan. I'm continuing, you know, I've been stitching sampler summer. So that's why everything I was working on, I mean, even more than usual, everything was samplers. And so my other two whip go calls for my smalls and seasonal were my O Tomato project by Kathy Haberman, Hands-On Design, and my Teresa Kogut Biscornu.
Oh, with the pretty moth.
Yeah, I've got her moth. It's got a name. I don't remember what it's actually called.
Yeah, it reminds me of the logo that they used for Midsummer Stitch, like the beautiful lunar moth.
So so I'm going to work on that Biscornu because I have ordered the Land That I Love Biscornu book that she just came out with. If you haven't seen it already, it's wonderful. There are 10 Biscornu faces in the book, so you can mix and match them however you want. And if you're not a statistician, I've heard people say, so you can make as many as 5 different ones. No. You can make as many as 90, 9 with a 0 different Biscornus from that book. Because when you choose 2 from 10, it's 10 times 9, 90 different ways that you can mix those up. So I think that's fantastic, and it's going to be super fun. So I also ordered her Goodness and Mercy sampler, which is beautiful. You know me, sucker for anything with sheep. And I saw that Celeste got a start on Treasury of Compassion, which is a beautiful, and so I ordered Treasury of Compassion and it's floss. So I've got all those coming, and Chris the Camping Stitcher finished Mary Bovey. Now, Mary Bovey was a stitch along that was Holly Jones and Nicole Spohr were stitching. And both Holly and Nichol got frustrated with their projects and threw them down.
Oh,
which
no.
I just think you see a theme here. When you host a SAL, it is so hard to be the one leading the charge. The people like us out here and the troops that are just following, we keep going because we don't know. But anyway, they both set it aside to do other things. I don't blame them. But Chris did her own color conversion. Hers turned out so pretty that I'm probably going to shamelessly copy hers. So I ordered the chart. I hadn't started it yet until then. So, but anyway, so I ordered the chart, and it's great. All right.
I have just one other thing I wanted to mention, yarn-wise. Sorry again, guys. But when I was in Boone visiting my in-laws, we were going to go to our local yarn shop there in Blowing Rock, but it had moved.
Oh.
And so the new location was in West Jefferson, which is at the bottom of the mountain. So you go downhill for 30 minutes to get to West Jefferson. And it's a great little location. What I didn't realize is that the yarn store original owner had transferred it to a new owner.
Oh.
And so they had a slight redesign of their logo. So Unwound is the name of the store. And in the past, it had a little dachshund wearing a sweater because the previous owner had little dachshunds that she kept in the store with her and that frequently would, greet visitors and whatnot. The new owner, who is a younger person, changed it to a cat, which I think is absolutely adorable. And in the past, it had a little dachshund wearing a sweater because the previous owner had little dachshunds that she kept in the store with her and that frequently would, greet visitors and whatnot. The new owner, who is a younger person, changed it to a cat, which I think is absolutely adorable. And to support a young person in a venture like this, I just wanted to shout out Unwound and mention that they can take phone calls, online orders, and the things that they have. Oh my gosh, why didn't I pull this out when I was holding the bag? I bought this beautiful set of yarn. So this, feel it, it's so nice.
Oh.
And it's a wool blend. I haven't decided, it hasn't told me what it wants to be when it grows up, but I got this colorway in multiple skeins, and it's like this beautiful, vibrant orange to purple, gorgeous set of colors, and it just called to me, but I don't know what it's going to turn
And you
into.
got the gold is just
And this is just an accent color, yeah. So I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be awesome.
Oh, it will be awesome.
But anyway, she just has a huge selection of yarns available in her store, and all kinds of little doodads. One of the things that I ended up buying for myself, this is a twig and horn yarn wrap. And so if you're not sure what the thickness of your yarn is, you can use this as a gauge to measure and figure out what weight of yarn so that you can choose what size needles or hooks to use.
I like that.
I also enjoy that the store is very user-friendly in that they're not snobbish about knitting versus crochet. There's no controversy. Everybody who likes yarn is welcome. So
that's great.
It doesn't matter if you knit with it, doesn't matter if you crochet with it. And she just had so many little doodads like this. And I could have bought the store out, and I didn't.
Mallory has more restraint than I do. She's always been the kid that, gets Christmas money and still has it to Christmas shop the next year.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had a gift card that was burning a hole in my pocket, and so I was able to spend my gift card. And then literally after spending my gift card from my mother-in-law, she said, "I'll be right back," and went into the store and bought me another gift card. I swear that's what she did. I swear that's what she did.
That's
I was just
hilarious.
like, well, shoot, I'll have to come back,
That's so funny. Were you going to show your cardigan?
Oh, I could. You guys want to see
We do
the
want to
progress?
see.
Okay.
Yes, we definitely want to see.
I did entirely take a back seat on this project, though.
To do your
To work on
grandmother's
Grandma's
sure.
sweater instead.
Grandmare definitely was a priority.
But I am pleased to report that I am almost done with the back of the cardigan. So it is just about as long as it needs to be for me to start working on the bottom edge.
Oh yeah.
So it's getting there. Thank goodness I'm fairly short-waisted.
I don't know. I'd take it down longer than that. I mean, you'll just want it to hang below your waistband.
Sure. But I am
as long as you've got plenty of yarn.
I am very happy with the way that the sleeve turned out. So I just did this color work around the, not intarsia style. I carried my strands. But I just designed this on my little Pixel app that I use for making my patterns when I'm away from my computer. And just there it went.
And so you made
little sailboats. This pattern, this cardigan is called Sail Away, and the author refers several times to the way that the colors are dragged here as looking like sailboats. I don't see it, but it's beautiful, and I enjoyed knitting it, but I wanted some sailboats in my Sail Away cardigan, and so this is just an entirely made up on my end addition to the sweater. It called for repeating the color work at the cuff anyway. So I was like, oh, well then I'll just play around a little bit.
Yes, it's lovely. And this is wool, 100% wool, so it is, a beautiful warm sweater for winter.
So warm.
Yeah.
Like several times I've put it on to check the size and stuff, and then immediately I'm like, why am I making a sweater in the middle of summer? What am I doing?
Right.
But so fun.
This is a lot of progress for yarn she got on her birthday. So this is a summer sail away progress.
Summer is sailing away on me, but I am really close to being able to start that ribbing because it's going to be like an inch or an inch and a half of ribbing at the bottom. But yeah,
that's great.
coming along.
Fantastic. Okay, I think we're ready for our giveaway winners. Before we name new people who won, I did want to remind MP-UI8RF on YouTube that you won the pirate suit bag last month. We're going to give you one more month to claim it. Just send me an email at stitchingonislandtime@gmail.com and send me your name and address, and then I can send you this pirate suit bag. It's a really great bag. We both kept one too. I made 4.
Oh yeah.
So, but it's got this wonderful, you know, saily stripe, very beachy. And then
I'll make sure to send you one of our Make Island Time corner gauges in there.
Sure. Okay, so this one's claimed if she claims it. If not, we'll pull a new winner for that next month. But we have winners for these giveaways. So this month we were giving away 2 of these Americana bags that I have that are very, you know, World War II-ish sort of styling.
But would be great for putting a patriotic product or 2, honestly. They're so
large. These are big bags. I like big bags, and I cannot lie. So I make my bags finish out about 14 by 15. You know, they're really large. I cut my pieces. I got a lot of questions about how to make these bags, and clearly I have got it down to a science. So the front panel section, I cut 12.5 inches. This is cutting size, 12.5. I cut 3.5 for the width here, and I cut 16 for the back because, you know, there's some taken up with seam allowance and some because it's a real wide zipper, okay? But then whatever width you want it, I either cut them 14.5 if the front is going to be patchwork, because a patchwork front comes out 12.5 by 14.5 when you have 42 squares that are 2 inches each. Okay, so that's how that came out. I cut it 14.5 if the front is going to be patchwork, but if it's solid like this, you can just cut it 15. And all that comes from me having a 15-inch ruler. Like, that's why I cut it like that. So 12.5 by 15, 3.5 by 15, and 16 by 15 are the 3 pieces. And then I sew as wide a seam as I feel like sewing. Sometimes, literally for the lining, I'll sew a 5/8 inch seam across the bottom because I want the lining to be just a smidge shorter than the back. You know, so I sew a real, but a 1/2 inch seam to put this thing together is about what I do. And then it's lickety split. I follow the tutorial that Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch has on her FlossTube. So construction is so easy. You literally sew the top together, then you sew the bottoms parts, you sew all the way across the outsides, and you leave a hole on the lining so that you can turn the thing, you know. But then you just sew the 2 sides down and you're done, and you flip it. So it's super easy to do. Even the zipper part, that's easy to do, and I can show anybody who wants to know. So, but go to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch and look at her video and you'll figure it out.
There's great tutorials out there.
So many, yes. So to win these 2 today, our winners are Kimber Watts, who we love, and Always Be Yourself -6. Those are the 2 winners of those American bags. And then we also gave away the count pattern that Mallory has already stitched a couple of times. So here it is. It's a sweet little bag pattern. And Pat Fortner, 9612. Pat, you won the count bag. So all you ladies, please email us stitchingonislandtime@gmail.com. Tell me what you won. I've got a list, but still remind me. And I will let Mallory mail it to you because that's her job. I'm terrible at going to the post office. But
that's okay, I
But
can.
I have a friend, so it works out great. And then for today's giveaway, we already told you, say chicken. Chicken if you would like to win Florence. And then in honor of Cecilia's new Quilted Tiny Town, if you haven't seen it, you need to go see it the minute you're finished watching this, because we're almost done. Go see it. But I had 2 copies of Harvest Tiny Town. And so we'll draw for this, you know, in our next video, which should be, you know, pretty early in September, mid-September, before the Harvest Moon Hangout, probably. And then you'd have time to get this stitch before Thanksgiving. So it's Harvest Tiny Town. It's so sweet.
It's so cute.
Very autumnal. I had 2 copies, and we will give this one away. So let's say Harvest, because Harvest is Harvest Moon Hangout, the Harvest Tiny Town.
All lowercase.
And everybody should buy the Quilted Tiny Town the minute you can. I've already emailed Dying to Stitch and told them to kit it up for me with the frill. So I don't have to think about it again. Someday soon, I'll just get a package in the mail. It'll be great.
So these are the ones that were won.
These
will
have
go in the
been
mail
won,
soon.
so we will mail them to you. And next month, you'll have the opportunity. Just say
Chicken.
or harvest. I'm writing that down because I'm the one that'll have to do the random selection generator. By the way, thank you for watching our show, because if you do enter, you today would have been one of 8 or one of 5 to be able to win a prize. Those are some pretty good odds, right? Nobody is entering these things yet. So if you're one of the 10 or 12 people that are watching our show, you might as well get a prize from us.
Might as well.
I mean, why not, right? So anyway, it is great, and I am so grateful.
We love you guys, and this is just a little way for us to love you back for sticking around, watching
Yes.
the whole show.
But, you know, if you have something you're working on and you need something, also send me an email, because I probably have it here, and I can probably just send it to you, and I would never miss it. So I'm just saying.
And I would never miss it. It's wild.
No,
that.
it's
No, that's
true though,
great.
right?
That's great.
It's right.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, I appreciate so much that Brenda and Laura are both going through a D-stash, because most of the reason I need to go through a D-stash is because I bought everything that they told me to get on their show. So we're all 60-ish and realize that we could stitch 20 hours a day for the rest of our life and not finish the things. Lori Holt's new video was great, because she talked about having a 400-year plan
Oh,
to
fantastic.
stitch everything
Good for
that
her.
she's got going, you know.
Well, thanks to
And-
denial, I'm immortal.
That's right. Exactly. So I do, you know, I told Dennis when I finished Only Once a Home, I said, you know, I continue every time I finish a cross-stitch project. I wonder, what is the trigger? Like, what made me want to finish that one? Why did I spend hours of my life on this project? Why did I make this quilt? You know, what is the artistic impetus that gets you to, you know, do the next thing? What is the one? And so I enjoy thinking about those kind of things almost as much as I enjoy stitching. You know,
You
like
can think about those things while you're stitching.
You can, absolutely.
I do a lot of great thinking when I'm stitching.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
alternatively, sometimes I just turn my brain off and just stitch.
Yes,
And that's really nice too.
it is.
So if you just had us playing in the background, giving you some kind of talking to listen to while you were stitching,
Yes.
we love that for you. Thank
And-
you.
yes, thank
for letting
you.
us be your white noise and
That's right.
for sticking around. We really
And
appreciate you.
while I a-go-go in August, I hope it a-go-goes well for you.
Yes.
So
And
whatever,
gosh.
whatever you do.
August.
Yes, I know.
That's wild.
And the next thing we know, it'll be Sampler September. So I've Sampler summered, but I'll probably pick some new starts for September, because that's just special.
That's fantastic.
So, all right.
Thank you, FlossTube.
Thank you much. We will see you soon.
And a big shout out to Dennis Millsap for this song you're probably listening to right now.
That's right. Thanks, honey. Bye. Okay.
We did it.
I feel like it was
my gosh, it's noon.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I feel like it
What?
might be 4 hours long. I don't know.
Oh, no. 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's long.
That is long. If you have to break it in half, that would be understandable.
You know,
You're not worried they'll look like adult bibs?
they could. I don't care.
Okay. All right.
You see what I wear on a daily basis. I don't care what people think
No, we
about
don't.
what I do.
We don't care what people think. We dress to please ourselves. Women are not here to entertain you. That is not why we're here. We're not a visual art. Come on. I guess you could argue, now I'm going to have to do the math after I get off here and make sure I'm not wrong. It might be 45 because you could argue that they're not the same.
Oh, because you could just turn it over and say this is a different one because this
Right.
is the top, not the bottom.
I still think it's 90. It's a lot.
a lot.
It's so many. Boy, do we have a big one today.
It's so funny that you say that because I feel like I have practically nothing to show.
That's so funny.
I feel like that. Now, 50,000 stitches later, I have done work. It's just, it doesn't feel like a lot of work. has
I
been done.
know, because it's one big thing.
Big thing.
Okay. Oh, I forgot lipstick.
I got it started. Well, that's fine. You want me to grab your lipstick?
Yeah. Just hand me the flamingo bag. I can probably put lipstick on without looking in a mirror. Don't
your
you
lips
dare
pretty
use
well.
it as the cuts, though.
As the what?
As the aftermath.
Would I ever do that?
Uh-huh. You put this on there, and I'm not going to feed you for a week.
Oh, I would never do such a thing. It's like you don't trust me at all.
I don't trust her at all.
Is it my maniacal laughter?
Mm-hmm. Is it straight?
Looks perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, looks great.
All right. Now you can tell I have lips. I mean,
Yes,
that's
you
really
have
the
lips.
only
It's
goal for
fantastic.
lipstick, right?
Yes.
Is to be able to tell that you have